this last 10 minutes of us talking back and forth, I want you've been practicing for 24 years. So I want to give you the opportunity to kind of drop some wisdom and knowledge on our viewers. So we have, most of our viewers are going to be men, or they're going to be support system of a man going through the family law court system. So someone walks into your office for the very first time and they have no idea about what to expect. What do you want to teach them? What are you going to tell them? And what have you found the clients that have been the happiest and most successful at going through the process do?
They're going to be very disappointed and disillusioned by the way the legal system treats them. So that's basically the inoculation that I give you right there. You're going to be unhappy, and you're going to say, and even if you are a rational human being and someone who's pragmatic, you're going to be disappointed, because you're going to say, hey, I know that people are imperfect. I don't expect perfection, and I know that the judge doesn't know me from Adam, so I don't expect the judge to believe every word that comes out of my mouth. But I still expected better than this. That's what you're going to say. So I tell them that up front so that they won't be that disappointed and that disillusioned. They're still going to be shocked, but at least they weren't given a heart attack because of the shock. So then I say, if you want to reduce the odds against you, and you want to make sure that you give yourself every opportunity, in a way, you're going to have to do a lot of things that are going to feel somewhat artificial. I don't want you to lie. I don't want you to fake it. But you're going to have to do a lot of things that, as I said earlier, there's going to be certain presumptions, generally speaking. Not every judge or commissioner is going to behave this way, but it's one of those prepare for the worst and hope for the best situations. You're going to want to make sure that you document every good thing you do for your kids. You're going to want to make sure that you document, I show up to pick them up on time what measly bit of time I get at the beginning. Maybe it gets better. I pick them up on time. I don't bring them back early, and I bring them back on time. I don't show up late. I tell dads, keep track of the register tapes of what you buy at the store. Make sure that you keep a track of what you're feeding the kids and that you're giving them nutritious meals. Don't eat out too much. Don't eat out too little. In other words, you want to be a model citizen, and you're going to behave in a manner that is better than you ever have before, but not that you were ever a bad person. You were a normal person. Nobody would find anything wrong with what you did, except when you get into the divorce court. It'll be things like, well, he always gives them soda pop at dinner. And it's like, well, you're right, I do. I give them a little glass of Sprite, and, we all like Sprite, and we enjoy it. It's like, oh, that's terrible. And you're like, it isn't terrible. It's not. Every reasonable person knows it's not. But you've got to start doing things where you want to make sure that you avoid the very appearance of evil, as it says in the Bible. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that if you go to the gym, that it's not going to be construed as, I'm a narcissist who spends all my time working on my good looks. You're not just going to be physically fit and trying to be a healthy person. You're a narcissist. And when you drive a little bit over the speed limit, you're not just doing that because, hey, 5 miles over, what's the harm? You're reckless and dangerous. You want to do everything. Next subject. You want to make sure that you live your life as if you're being watched 24/7, because there's a very good chance you might be watched. There may be a private investigator following you around, trying to find some dirt on you. So one thing I tell a lot of the male clients is, if you break down on the side of the road and right there is a brothel where you could go in and call AAA, don't walk the 2 miles down the road to the Denny's or someplace else, because if anyone sees you walk into a brothel and they can see you clearly have a flat tire, they're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You're a cad, something like that. You also want to make sure that if there's a custody evaluation, you want to lobby really hard for saying, let's not just follow one simple schedule the whole time. And one thing I'm having success with, it's taken forever, but finally there are some courts that are seeing the wisdom in, as I said before, during the discovery phase, which means after the case is filed, the parties get to ask each other questions and look for documents and have tests conducted or things like that. That's about 6 months in Utah. It's supposed to be 6 months. It often lasts longer. But then you say, let's do the minimum schedule for 60 days. Let's add a day for 60 days. Let's add another day for 60 days so that by the time we get to the end, we're at 50-50. And then if at any point on the way to 50-50, it's proven that the kids won't benefit from that, well, then we'll stop. And the benefit to the kids is we know what works for them. The benefit to the court is we know what works for them. And the benefit to the parents is, well, 50-50 may have been what dad wanted, but 50-50 doesn't work, either because the kids suffer or because dad can't handle it, or maybe a combination of the two. But the main thing is that you've got to, unfortunately, you've got to go into court and prove you are a darn near perfect parent just to get equal custody of your kids when mom is not held to the same standard.